Lionel Messi just dropped the most devastating retirement hint of his entire career following the death of his father, Jorge, and tucked inside his statement is a hidden confession that changes absolutely everything we thought we knew about his future. For 2 decades, whenever the football world debated when Messi would finally walk away, the entire internet looked in the exact same place. They debated his age, they analyzed his hamstring injuries, they counted his miles per match in Major League Soccer. They were looking in the completely wrong direction, because behind closed doors, while the world was watching him play on television, Messi was keeping a secret that almost nobody in football knew about. A secret that explains why he collapsed in tears during this summer's World Cup. A secret that explains the real reason behind his sudden dip in form. And a secret that culminated in a raw, unfiltered 2 a.m. statement that has sent shockwaves through every front office in world sports. He didn't release it through a PR agency. He didn't let Inter Miami soften the blow. He wrote it himself. And buried on page 2 of that tribute was a single sentence that every football analyst on earth has been frantically dissecting. I only played football, and now I have quite a few doubts about whether I'm going to keep doing it for much longer. If you think this is just another emotional headline or standard player grief, stop right there. Do not skip ahead, because what you don't know is the private ultimatum Jorge gave him before the tournament began, the haunting 15-minute routine that is now permanently broken inside the locker room, and the chilling detail in point number 5 that explains why his boots might already be hung up for good. Let's get into it. To understand why this tragedy threatens to end Messi's career immediately, you have to look at the side of his life the cameras never showed. In modern sports, every superstar is surrounded by a machine. Cristiano Ronaldo had entire PR syndicates. Neymar had multi-million-dollar marketing agencies. Lionel Messi had one man in a leather jacket. Jorge Horacio Messi wasn't a celebrity super agent. He was a shift worker in a Rosario steel mill. When Newell's refused to fund growth hormones for an 11-year-old child, Jorge didn't hire lawyers. He took a gamble that risked his family's entire life savings, flew to Barcelona, and forced an executive to sign a contract on a restaurant napkin. For 26 years, Jorge wasn't just his father. He was his negotiator, his bodyguard, his sounding board, and the only person on planet Earth whose opinion Messi truly feared. Messi once admitted something that few people took seriously at the time. I never cared what the journalists said. I never cared about the ratings. When the game was over, the only thing I cared about was what my dad thought of how I played. Remember that quote, because it holds the key to the entire mystery of what happened this summer. Rewind to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Millions of fans tuned in to watch Argentina's title defense. But if you watched closely, something was off from the opening whistle. Messi wasn't celebrating his goals the same way. When he scored against Algeria, he dropped to his knees, burying his face in the turf while his teammates rushed over. The commentators called it the passion of a legend. They had no idea what was actually happening. What the public didn't know, what wasn't leaked to a single reporter, was that miles away in a private clinic in Rosario, Jorge was losing a silent battle with illness. For the first time in 6 World Cups and 7 Copa Americas, Jorge's seat in the VIP box was completely empty. Messi wasn't playing for glory, he wasn't playing for records, he was playing under an unbearable psychological weight that would have broken almost any other human being. When the final whistle blew and Argentina fell in extra time, Messi didn't take a vacation. He booked a private flight straight to Argentina, and on August 8th, the voice that guided the greatest career in sports history went silent forever. Which brings us to the 5 hidden revelations inside Messi's confession and the one specific detail that has Inter Miami terrified. Revelation number 1. The secret promise behind the 2026 World Cup. Here is the first piece of the puzzle that nobody outside Messi's inner circle knew until now. Messi never planned on playing in this summer's World Cup. His body was battered. He had already achieved the ultimate dream in Qatar. But inside his message, Messi revealed the untold conversation that forced him onto the plane. You were asking me so much to play in this last World Cup, and days before it started, you got worse. It was the first time you weren't going to be in the stadium. Still, I kept fighting to get as far as possible, just to give you time to watch another match. Think about what that actually means. Every sprint against Spain, every penalty kick, every grueling minute of extra time was not fueled by athletic ambition. It was a son desperately trying to keep his dying father alive for 90 more minutes. The fuel tank wasn't running on adrenaline, it was running on grief. And now that the tournament is over, that fuel is completely gone. Revelation number 2, the physical breaking point. This leads directly to the question fans have been arguing about in comment sections for weeks. Why did Messi look completely drained in the final minutes against Spain? The answer isn't age, it's what he secretly endured behind the scenes. My legs couldn't go on anymore. This time I tried to push myself beyond my physical limits, but I couldn't. I never felt well. When an athlete experiences severe emotional trauma, their central nervous system shuts down. Messi pushed his 39-year-old body past the point of physical exhaustion while carrying a heartbreak nobody knew about. The damage done to his body during those 4 weeks wasn't standard match fatigue. It was a systemic physical breakdown. Revelation number 3, the 15-minute locker room silence. This is the psychological detail that makes his return almost impossible. For 2 straight decades, across 1,000 professional matches with Barcelona, PSG, Inter Miami, and Argentina, Messi followed the exact same post-match ritual. Walk off the pitch, sit at his locker stall, and pick up his phone before showering to check for a single message from Jorge. Messi wrote, "Every time a match ended, I would wait and hope for your message. That's when I realized how real the situation was." Imagine stepping into a dressing room after a 90-minute war, picking up your phone, and realizing the one person you played for will never message you again. If the reward mechanism that drove you for 25 years disappears overnight, what reason is left to put on the boots? Revelation number 4, the closed-door reality at Inter Miami. While the public saw Messi return to the pitch and score a tribute goal against Philadelphia Union, pointing both hands toward the sky in silence, sources around the club paint a very different picture behind the curtain. Look at where things stand right now. He has 207 caps and 125 goals for Argentina, holding every major international record. In MLS, he has posted 13 goals and 9 assists in 17 games, crossing 922 career senior goals. He has achieved every trophy, every individual accolade, and every financial milestone sports can offer. There are simply no mountains left to climb. Insiders report that his current presence on the pitch is solely to fulfill his remaining contractual games, not to build toward 2027. Revelation number 5, the chilling confession. And now, we arrive at the line that confirms everything. The sentence that explains why this isn't just grief, it's an exit strategy. I don't know what I'm going to do without you. I don't know how to move forward. I only played football, and now I have quite a few doubts about whether I'm going to keep doing it for much longer. Read those words again carefully. He didn't say he needs a few weeks to recover. He didn't say he will be back stronger next season. He said, I only played football, and now I have quite a few doubts. So what does this mean for the future of football? Lionel Messi is not going to call an emergency press conference tomorrow to dramatically rip up his contract. That isn't who he is. What he gave the world is something far more chilling. He gave us fair warning. He showed us that behind the 8 Ballons d'Or, behind the World Cup trophies, and behind the hundreds of millions of dollars, he was still just a boy from Rosario who needed his dad's approval to feel complete on a football pitch. Without Jorge watching from the stands, the stadium lights are dimmer, the roar of 70,000 fans is quieter, and the motivation to push through the pain is fading with every passing day. We aren't watching the build-up to another championship run. We are watching the final quiet countdown of the greatest story sports has ever told. Does Lionel Messi owe it to football to finish his contract, or has he earned the right to walk away right now? Tell me what you think in the comments. Don't hold back. And if you want to be the first to know the moment the official decision on his 2027 contract is made, hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss a single update.